Attention. Welcome to the Different Spectrums podcast. We dive into the wild world of mental health discussions. Get ready for profound talks, a sprinkle of humor and sarcasm, and a touch of colorful language. Just a quick heads up, our show reflects our individual opinions, which may not align with the standpoint of the podcast, our featured guests, or any related corporate entities. Our mission? To illuminate through laughter and satire because everyone needs a good chuckle. Chill out and don't stress over the small stuff. Legal troubles? No, thank you. Cancel culture? Please spare us. We'd rather keep this space lawsuit free. So buckle up, have a good time, and join us as we navigate the vibrant realm of mental health on the Different Spectrums podcast. Today's episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who is trained to listen and give you helpful, unbiased advice. By using our link, you can get 10% off your first month of therapy. So, Naz, as a therapist on BetterHelp, what has your experience been like?
I've been doing it since January of 2021, and it's been really fun and exciting. I've been able to reach clients all over the United States and the world. I've had good relationships. I've had folks that I've had for a couple months and a good handful where I've had for almost 2 years now. So it's magnificent. I've enjoyed my time and my clients. I love them.
Awesome. You can do it all from your phone or computer via phone call, video chat, or messaging, however you feel the most comfortable. Let BetterHelp connect you to a therapist who can support you, all from the comfort of your own home. Visit betterhelp.com/DSP or choose Different Spectrums podcast during sign up and enjoy a special discount on your first month. Hey everybody, we back again.
We're back and we're live.
I'm Spencer, and of course we have our licensed therapist, Naz.
Dr. Nas. Put some respect on it.
No. Remember, don't take us too seriously.
Or do. It's completely up to you.
There we go. Also, don't forget to rub those likes for us. We'd really appreciate it. So, today we are going to be doing the great film from 1997, Flubber.
Hey.
Starring the late, great Robin Williams. Uh-oh. We're going to be doing this film. Today marks Robin Williams' birthday, July 21st. So just want to shout out to Robin Williams. Rest in peace. Hopefully you are in a better place.
Yeah.
Yes. But let's get to the fun stuff. So today we're going to be talking about understanding humans. What does that mean, especially when it comes from an autistic person? Struggling with love. That's also a nice topic, especially who we're going to be talking about today. And then also letting people move on. And also a little bit of, having people steal your ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Flubber just going out a guy's asshole.
I mean,
know?
yeah.
Yeah. Of course. Happens all the time. So with that, Nas, anything before we get into the show?
As a therapist, and you're having troubles in your relationship, I recommend you get some Flubber. Is the best dildo you'll ever have. It's self-lubricating. Oh, mommy. I love anytime we bring Robin Williams to the table, right? I mean, just massive joy, role model for me and how I do my practice as a therapist. My mission values is just a human. But yeah, we're going to get into some really good scenes when it just comes to love, understanding it, how to identify it, how you may intellectualize it, or maybe feel it in your body or not feel it. And it's just really difficult for a lot of folks. And they don't know. How do I know if I love this person? And then we're going to get into surprise some boundaries, standing up for yourself. And I think we're going to have some little fun sideways talks about some ADHD type stuff. And when you find that right partner, the one The one that's going to allow you bring the toys in. All right, let's get into the pod. Whoop whoop.
Woof, woof.
Jesus.
Hello, Phil. What are you working on? Can't remember? I understand. That's a damn shame they're shutting your college down. I read about it in the paper.
It's not over yet.
Oh, we're doing fine at Rutland. No such financial problems. Hey, are you still working on that lighter than air compound?
It's a repulsive polymer. I don't mean to be rude, Wilson, but I have to go.
You don't seem too happy to see me, Phil.
I'm not.
Well, all the years we've known each other, studying, working together. What happened between us, Phil?
Well, I just got tired of you stealing my ideas, Wilson.
And what would you have done with them? You would have misplaced them, forgotten them, lost them. There's no doubt you're the brighter of the two of us. You have a genius for science, I grant you that. It's just the science of daily life that eludes you.
Oh, I've heard that copper sight before. Excuse me, that's very volatile.
I won't deny that I hate you for your brilliance. I'm petty, corrupt. Probably would have gone mad trying to compete with you in pure thought. But I'm not an innovator like you, Phil.
Huh?
I'm an adapter. And to that end, I have profited from your ideas.
Why are you here?
Oh, to be honest, I'm here this weekend to steal your fiancée and make her my wife.
Well, I think you'll be sadly disappointed.
I'll see you at the wedding then.
Testing. Applying thin layer of fluid flubber to synthetic leather surface of basketball. Application complete. Points. Implementing Plan B. Very tight. And careful. Secondary flubber experiment. Control elements. Bungee cord. 3-to-1 elasticity ratio. 50-pound ballast. Commencing now. Wish me luck.
Help.
「
Ah!
「 Ah! 」
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 Ah! Hey, who won?
We did.
Professor? Why the long face?
I think you know why.
Would it be a Sarah issue?
Wish I understood human beings. Wish I understood women. Wish I understood emotions and passions. Wish I understood any of that. If I did, I wouldn't have had to spend my entire life in a laboratory trying to figure out how the world works. I would have been out in the world trying to figure out why it works. I know I love her, Weibo. Every neuron in my limbic system is saturated with phenylethylamine. That triggers euphoria, elation, exhilaration. Truth is, Weibo, I'm not absent-minded because I'm selfish, crazy, or inconsiderate. I'm absent-minded because I'm in love with Sarah.
Professor.
That doesn't matter anymore. Because I don't get any more chances with her.
No, that's not true. There's always another chance. I mean, you never know, right?
Probably just as well that it's over.
What?
She has to move on. I'm not right for her. But you knew that, didn't you, Weibo?
Huh?
You never wanted me to marry her. You were right. I wasn't right for her. You're the one for me, Weibo. Just the two of us. And Flubber makes 3. Good night, Weep.
Night. Professor.
And this is the God's truth. I want him to have what he wants, even if it means you instead of me.
Get him! Oh dear. Sarah, going somewhere?
Wilson.
Left, right. Sarah! Grab her.
I'm coming, Sarah!
Hey, Lumpy!
Come on. Let's go, smart guy.
Look out!
Get it!
This one's for Weibo.
Oh, mommy.
Hey everyone, I'm here to talk about our new collaborator, Toink Toys. They have a wide selection of, you guessed it, toys and other great collectibles. They have products from Marvel, Star Wars, Harry Potter, and everything pop culture. You could say they put the toy in Toink. So go check them out at toink.com and use our code Different Spectrums Podcast to get 10% off your entire order today. And we're back again.
We're back. We're back and we're live. Just as live. It's Flubber. It's a live. That's like a real person. It's an autonomous blob. It's like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ooze, but with a personality.
Which would be freaky because then they'd just be living in the turtles all the time.
It's live. We're live, folks.
It's live.
This is pretty much the Flubber is pretty much the only reason why Joe Biden made it the last 4 years.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
He was shoved up in there just working as a puppet, you know.
Oh my God.
He just forgot how to make his mouth open and close.
Yeah. Flubber got old. Flubber got real old.
I apologize. He's old. I get it. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Do you?
I apologize.
I apologize. I love the old.
I love the oldies.
I love the oldies. So, what is Flubber about? If you haven't seen Flubber, which I highly recommend you do, it's all about Professor Philip Brainerd, and he's very absent-minded, as he says in the film, which means he forgets a lot of things.
Yep.
One being how he attempted to get married 3 times and did not. He kept on forgetting it. Didn't help that his robot Weibo kept on, getting rid of it so that then he wouldn't get married to her. So, little jealousy, little love triangle.
Robots. I mean, I can't get anyone to respond to a text. So, I mean, if a robot loves me,
hey, it is what it is. It's what it is. And so his big accomplishment is trying to make this like very synthetic material. And so he makes Flubber and turns out to be like have a personality and all that. And, it can bounce everywhere. It's very elastic. It can do all the things, right? And so he doesn't want any money for this. He's just a scientist. He wants to discover. That's all he wants to do. And the big main point of this movie is that the college that he's at is struggling. It's a private college, and so it's struggling to make money. And so one of the things he's trying to do, or that he does, is that Flubber gets to go into all these different applications that can fit. One for basketball or any athletics. And then he also makes a flying car for that. Right. Pretty cool stuff. Very inventive. Very inventive.
Yeah.
Trying to think if there's anything else. And then you have like Shooter McGavin, who's like the antagonist for this, and he just steals all of Philip. He just steals all of his ideas and then turns them into something, right? We'll get into that later, but
he's a colonizer.
Yeah. He's a colonizer stealing white on white crime is what we call it.
This is what we should talk instead about Chicago. Let's talk about white on white crime.
Yes.
Let's talk about intellectual theft.
Yes, intellectual theft. He should have trademarked all of his ideas.
He should have.
He would have been fine. Trying to think, is there anything else about this movie? Especially coming back to the scenes. I think that's mainly it. I mean, and then you also have this guy who's trying to steal all of the stuff from Flubber and make it his own intellectual stuff, and then he sends his henchmen to go spy on Philip, and they get bonked in the head. So we'll also be seeing a little bit of that in Reels.
Yeah.
Boom. Great film, because although it is a Disney film, it really feels a little bit more adulty right?
Yeah.
A lot of adult themes, and yeah, it has some wacky humor in it, but it's also one of those films where it feels timeless in a way. Very timeless.
Robin Williams just doing his thing.
Doing his thing. That's all you had to do. I think it's probably one of the last, I think it might be the last film he's ever done with Disney because he didn't have a great relationship with them
Okay.
after like Aladdin, but then he came back for this. So I think it might have been one of his last films if I'm
Okay.
correct. But yeah. All right. Let's get into it.
Yeah. This will be our first time recording a solo pod in a long time.
I know. It's weird.
I know.
I don't have any guest information.
Yeah, I'm like, do we do an interview? Nah, so tell us how your stool is. I couldn't think of nothing.
Why does it go right to shit?
Because the chili is killing me, man.
The chili.
Me and Colin synchronized chilies, and we're both dying.
Why?
We're dying.
Why are you
man.
doing that?
I don't know. It makes me feel close to him.
Why do you eat so much chili?
I don't know.
Why are you in a long-term relationship with your best friend?
Around chili.
Let's stop the podcast real quick and ask about this. Why are you eating the same food as your best friend? You're so gay.
It's so gay.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but you're gay.
I don't know, man. I just texted him today. I said, man, the chili's killing me. He's like, dude. He's like, I about died yesterday. I was like, I'm dying.
You both
now.
watch movies at the same time too. You fucking asshole. All right, and 3, 2, 1. All right, play.
Oh my god.
Oh my god! Did you see what happened to Becky?
Yeah. Well, the chili tribe, the trials, the tribulations, the chili tribulations.
God, that was a word. All right, here we go. Getting off of your gayness. First scene. So first scene. This is a little bit after Philip actually misses the wedding, his third time missing his wedding because he was making Flubber, got distracted.
Yep. As one does.
As one does, as a scientist. And so in comes Shooter McGavin, coming back. He is pretty much like his mortal enemy, Philip's mortal enemy, in terms of just like, oh yeah, you are very smart, intellectual man, Philip, but what are you going to do with those ideas? You're just going to lose them. You're just going to forget them. So I'm going to take them and actually use them because, hey, that's what I'm the judge of what you should be doing with your science discoveries. And so, we have that anima, and the whole time Philip is just like erasing stuff from the chalkboard. He's putting stuff away so that he doesn't steal anything else from him.
Yep.
And then along with that, not just stealing his ideas, he's also trying to steal his wife or his fiancée.
Great guy.
Yeah. Shooter McGavin, always playing those great roles. I don't want to call him Shooter the whole time. It's Christopher McDonald.
There you go.
Fantastic actor. But, Shooter McGavin's like his jam.
Yeah.
But yeah, with Wilson, aka Shooter McGavin, he does that role so well. He just plays he's so good at playing an asshole.
Asshole white
It's
guy,
weird.
right? Kind of preppy, privileged, super bougie, looking down on you. He's the epitome of like the class system.
Yeah. And then also taking advantage of those who may be autistic, right? Happens all the time, right? Oh, what? You're not going to use those ideas, so I'll just use them because I have personable skills. And, hey, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. Before we get into the scene itself, Naz, seeing these clips, would you does it bring back anything from watching Flubber your first time out?
Yeah, I always remember my first,
You sure do.
Sure do.
You sure do.
Sure do.
His name was Bobby.
Bobby Boucher,
Bobby Boucher. Oh no.
Oh,
Mama, I didn't.
Mama said that's a devil.
It was such a short egg roll, Mama. It was such a short
Real
egg roll.
joke. So I've been going back and watching some classics, right? Because I just need some easy stuff to watch, some fun stuff. And so you get back into these scenes, and man, it's crazy like how you remember this. I can't remember what I ate, what I talked about, what I got to do tomorrow, what I got to do right after this. But as soon as you turn on the movie, you remember the sounds and noises. And I think it's because back in the day, there weren't no streaming services, right? Yeah. We're just watching the same shows over and over and over, and VHS over and over and over. On the Disney Channel over and over, and Flubber's always on. So they're kind of like embedded into your brain. It's like when you put on an old song from 5-10 years ago. You ain't heard it in a long time, and then boom, you just remember. And you dancing like, damn, I know all the words of this Soldier Boy song. Like, damn,
you
young jock, boy. I think that's pretty cool on how your brain can just pick things up. I think I was watching the movie, that movie If I told you about, and a lot of it was about remembering. And there was different ways to get people to remember stuff. So some was like music, some was dance. A lot of it, one of the best ones was smell. Sense of smell, right, can re-trigger. But this would be like the music thing, that audio, visual type of nostalgia. And you're like, boom, you're right back where you were a kid watching on one of the big ass tube TVs. Yeah. So that's what it made me think about re-seeing this, and then rewatching like The Sandlot, right? And then Cool Runnings and all that. It put me right back into Saginaw in my old bedroom, just staying up late till like 2 a.m. as a kid. Ain't shit changed, bro. Doing the same shit. And just being like, this is it. This is the best.
Yeah.
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 Nostalgia.
I love this movie. Have it on VHS still downstairs. And I loved when we went to Disney and we actually went on like one of the science rides. They actually have Weibo and a picture of Robin Williams as Philip in one of the rides, and so I thought that was really cool. Have a picture of it in my phone, so I will be if I could find this, I will clip it. Yeah, and then I'll put the picture up in there. It's really cool. It's also nice that he's just such a staple for Disney, not just for being Genie, but then also for this film. This film did pretty well, made like $100 million.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and then not to mention like the VHS sales, which are probably even more. So, yeah, I mean, I'm glad that they could remember him at least in that way, and that he's in like one of the all-time, I think, like scientists like movies of all time. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So getting into the clip. So like I said before, we were seeing Philip and then also Wilson talking it out, going back and forth. Wilson just being a smug asshole, being like, hey, I'm gonna steal your wife, son. I'm gonna steal her. And you won't even remember that shit,
Jesus.
But I think that it's a good scene because I think a lot of people who have autism and people who are probably in any genre where you have like any type of creative and things like that.
Creative, yeah.
Things get stolen.
Yep.
Things get stolen. And it's from people who are just like this, who are very smug about it and who are like, well, I'm going to take advantage of this person who's not seen as culpable, I guess, or as who is going to be a little bit more naive to the world because they're in their own world when it comes to science, because they only want to live in that world. They don't want to go in the outside world. But then there are these outside people who come in and they're like, I'm going to take that idea,
monetize it,
and put it over here and monetize it, make money off of it, make millions. Yeah, I just kind of want to see what's your take on this scene, and does this kind of relate to any of your students or clients that you've seen?
Sadly, it does. So intellectual theft is a real thing, right? Creative theft is a real thing. You'll see it amongst a lot of folks that are maybe probably marginalized identities. You're going to see it a lot. You're going to see a lot of different things when it comes to different cultures. black and brown cultures, you're going to see when they're doing their thing when it comes to music, dance, art, and then it gets propagated and then twisted. And now white folks take it and they're making money off of it when in actuality, this is where it come from. It's that whole Elvis type of discussion. It's the whole, where did rap start? Where did rock start? Right? We look back on black folks. And so when it comes to autism or scientists, let's stick to science. It might not be the most personable, might not be the most aggressive individuals, might have more anxiety. Maybe there's a little ADHD, maybe not the best social skills. And so what they're doing, they're in the lab, they're working. They're in the lab, they're working. They're in the lab. But someone could be in that lab that's also pretty intelligent. But what they're doing is thieving and stealing. What they're doing is recreating when you did the groundwork and then making it, and then like taking your ideas. And so we see that a lot. We see a lot of folks, hey, this is what it is. We see a lot of white dudes, taking people's shit. And, I made a joke about colonizing, appropriation, because that's what this is. He appropriated his stuff. And he's like, hey, I ain't gonna lie. This is what I did. And I hate you because you're smarter than me. And I was never going to win that. So I'm just going to steal your shit. So it's crazy that the villain would even just come out and say that. Normally they don't say their identity, that they hate you and they're insecure and that they're stupid compared to you. So it's a sad reality for a lot of folks. And so my clients will come into the office. I don't know why this keeps happening. I don't know why this keeps happening. We just talked about on the podcast with that Floaties for Krakens podcast. Yep. And where you just get more work and more work and more work. But then the other people might be better at articulating themselves and thus they get credit for some of your work. When actually they ain't do a damn thing for that work. And so this is where we talk about boundaries. How come you don't have them? How come you don't have them? Sit down and think about it. Culture, gender. Is it race stuff? Is it anxiety? Is it, you had to be small when you were a kid because parents always shit on you? Is because you just had to work, and thus you never really got to use your voice because you was just in the lab or in the house working? Why don't you have the boundary, and why is it too scary for you to speak up and be like, nah, fuck you? It reminds me of me in school, Spence, when I was smart as hell and people would be trying to copy off me because like everyone's dumb as hell in my school, man. It is what it is. It's some dumb motherfuckers. And so they'd be looking at, oh, now it's finished. Oh shit, we about to go steal his homework. And like, I'll give you the shit. I don't care. But the thing is now if you get caught, because they know you dumb as hell, and now I'm busted.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want people cheating off of me because now we're both going to get busted. I'm like, bro, you got to change up some of these answers and get some wrong, bro.
Yeah.
So I remember being in chemistry in high school, man. And that's when I stopped telling people that I was smart. And I started acting even dumber in high school. Because I was like, nah, man, if I act like a fool and an idiot, then you're never going to ask me for my answers. I can get my A, get the fuck out. And there, every once in a while, people are like, oh shit, now he's smart as hell. Let's go sit by him. I'm like, nah, man, get your dumb ass out of here.
Because they wanted to use you for something.
Yeah. They want to use you because they want to put in the work. And I'm like, bro, I'll help teach your ass. And then I did help teach a lot of folks. But it's just
the problem
scary.
is, though, it's like that feeling, right? It's that feeling of like you're being used. And you can always feel that. You always know it's like just a bad feeling.
Yep.
And then like we've seen it before, just like in the holdovers, right? Is like that professor or that teacher
getting used.
He was very smart at what he does. And he even, he flunked out a like senator's kid, right? And it's sometimes you really have to play the game and play dumb sometimes in order for you to get ahead, which a lot of smart people have a hard time doing because they don't mask like that. They just think like, oh, I can just be a scientist.
Do
that's
my work.
it. Yeah, just do my work and then go along and then that's it. It's like, no, you have to, and that's for everybody. It's not just science.
Yeah, that's
like,
for everybody. It's just a lot of neurodivergent people, Spence. Me and we just struggle with it. We don't want to play the game.
No. Too tired. I'm too tired already masking at work. I don't need to do anything else. I don't want to hang out.
No.
I don't. Like, and I like the people at my work and I like hanging out and stuff, but at the same time, I'm tired.
I'm done.
I have stuff to do. Like, and sorry, it's just what am I going to do? Balance, either get some rest and do something I enjoy, or go outside and like hang out with people I might like and I might connect with. I'm going to choose staying.
The other, yeah,
Yeah.
is what it is, bro. It's like even with
Yeah.
the pod we're doing now, knocking on a lot of interviews, a lot of guests, magnificent. As soon as school starts, I gotta cut back because I'm gonna be fucking dead.
Yeah.
And Sundays is football, and that's a rest day. So like we'll figure it out. This is how it goes every school year. But there's only so much you have to give. But some folks will take advantage. So where is the boundary at, and why don't you have one? Figure where it needs to be, so you can self-sustain. Assholes like him ain't stealing your science, ain't stealing your intellectual property. Yeah, keep that shit written in your notebook and in your cell phone, not in your. And they'll get your notebook.
They got it.
They got it. It needs to put it in the cloud.
Yep. Yep. It's always safe in the cloud.
In the cloud, all there up there with all your porn.
Yep. Tell all the celebrities they had their news leaked. All right. So, and then next scene. So he's made Flubber, but now he's concentrated it into these into different materials, right? And so what he's done is he made like a little spray out of it, so then everything bounces. Everything can bounce now. It's a little bit more controlled. And I just love this basketball scene, to be honest with you, because it's just hilarious.
It is.
When I was a kid, at first watching this, I would not stop laughing. I would stop the tape, rewind that bitch, and then just watch it over and over again. Yeah. I love it when he just hits his, like he hits his head, goes flying, and he just starts screaming as he's going backwards. Hilarious. Hilarious. But yeah, kind of want to know a little bit, like what were you thinking in your mind when you watched this scene? Can you do some comparative anything with it?
I can.
Like what? All right, let's hear it. Let's see what's going on.
I'm thinking about trial and error. I'm thinking about,
okay,
he's doing a science experiment. What works, what doesn't work. So he's like, all right, let me lube up this ball, lube it up real good. Let me rub it, and then shove it. But all jokes aside, no. So he's doing an experiment to see what will this basketball do. Boom, it takes off. Yeah. Okay, so now he puts it on his shoes and he's jumping. How far can he jump? Or does his leg move? So this experiment, I teach a lot of my clients about social experiments. So a lot of us struggle with 100 million different things. And what are these little small changes that we can make, Spencer, to get us to the real big thing? People be like, well, I need to stop doing this completely. I said, nah, man, let's cut the cigarettes down by like 2 a day. But, maybe let's, instead of going to the gym 7 days a week, man, let's shoot for 2 or 3. So it's a trial and error. Okay, well, and I want to socialize. I need you to say hello to one person this week that you don't know and try to strike up a small conversation. Because the only way you're going to build the skills, it ain't talking to my dumb ass. You got to take what I teach you and you got to go do it out there. Talking to me is awesome, yeah, and you get comfortable, but I'm not a normal person and out in public. You got to go make friends. So I was thinking about like that. The fear and the anxiety of trying something outside your norm, knowing that you're going to fail, get hit in the head, maybe jump too far and people make fun of you and you hit the scoreboard. Or maybe if you're excited though and you're doing it right and your feet are bouncing up and down, but then also it's fucking terrifying. That whole scene to me resembles the trials and tribulations of people trying to make friends, putting themselves out there, trying to get past their anxieties and OCDs. It's the number one thing I always say in therapy, man. You wouldn't be here if the shit was working what you're doing. Wouldn't be here. So you might as well try something different, motherfucker, because that shit ain't working.
Yeah.
And that's how I take it. That's how I take the scene.
Yeah. All right. That's pretty good. I mean, yeah, I have to agree. And being different is just like being different from what you've been doing for so long is such a hard thing.
It's so hard, dude.
It's a hard thing. Yeah. Because you don't know it. You don't know. It's very strange. The
anxiety is so much.
Yeah. It's a new territory. And so it's like, what are we?
What's going to happen?
What am I going to do here?
Yeah.
Like, how do I? And that's the great thing about it, though, is like you have a chance to it's such a freestyle of what you could do, right? Like
Yep.
you could, like if you wanted to talk to somebody, you could say you could say, as long as it's appropriate, you could say whatever you want, you
Yep.
know? And it might work out like, oh, hey, I love your shoes. And we were just talking about in the last pod that we were doing with, just, hey, do you have pins? Wow, those are cool pins.
Yeah.
What,
Tattoos,
you know?
whatever.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Anything that sparks up a conversation and then it just rolls from there. But sometimes, yeah, it's just tough doing it because you don't know those people and are they safe? Are they not? I
Yep.
don't know what's gonna
That's
happen here.
it's like me and you going on that trip, bro. And
Yeah,
I always get horrible stomach issues every trip I go on. So going to Texas, horrible stomach issues.
yeah,
And then it calmed down. And then we went on that camping trip, horrible stomach issues the whole time.
yeah,
The whole time. It was just weird because you're planning stuff and sleeping in new places and environments. And then as soon as we got comfortable, oh, we're going to the next campsite.
true.
And it's just constant, like just planning, not knowing what you're going to do, where you're going to eat. So at the end of the day, I do like it the way we do trips,
Hmm.
but it is anxiety provoking because you still don't necessarily know what you're going to do or how you know what you're going to do. You don't know how it's going to play out, how long it's going to take.
You
When
don't know
you're
the
going to have
little
service,
details.
it's the little details
Yeah.
that you don't know, which creates some anxiety.
Hmm.
Like, a couple of the times we're out hiking for a couple hours on the trip and we're like, fuck, man, I hope that restaurant's open when we get back.
I know.
And then it wasn't. And then we had to go to like 30 miles back and forth to find food because everything closes down at 5 o'clock. God forbid anything stay open.
I know. It's the worst
Oh
setup.
my God.
Yeah. If you ever go to
Glacier.
what was it? It was Glacier. If you ever go to Glacier on the west side, there's nothing there.
There's
There's
nothing
literally
there.
nothing there.
Nothing there. All the food's closed down by like 5, if not 7.
And then you gotta eat out of trailer parks.
Hey, the trailer park girls. And that's what they call
Hey.
themselves. I'm not saying that.
Yes. Yes. They literally call themselves trailer park girls.
And it was like the name, like not the, it was funny. It was
for
like
the
a
Trailer
club.
Park Boys from Netflix.
Yeah. And it was funny
It
as
was just a
shit.
playoff. Yeah.
But yeah, man. So all that stuff gives me anxiety, bro. It's a cognitive fatigue, but you're never going to know what you're going to do unless you do it. You're never going to know. And now I know that I can camp. Now I'm like excited to buy those Coleman grills and cook food and camp next time,
Yeah.
Experimentation. So great scene to me, funny scene, get hit in the head. Experimentation. That's all life is an experiment, social experiment.
And then fun fact that I didn't know that the actor who played Weebo or voiced Weebo is actually the voice of what's her name? Ariel from The Little Mermaid.
Oh, wow.
So Disney connection. Disney on Disney. Fun fact there. So next theme is actually going to be a little bit deeper
It's the real stuff.
of a conversation, right? A little bit deeper. So this is after there's this bet between his fiance and Wilson, and if Wilson wins, then they're going to his cabin in like in the woods or whatever. And then if she wins, then I don't know, it just gets like $5. I don't fucking know. It was something like that. And so once Professor Phillip actually hears this, he's like, okay, I have to do everything in my power to make sure that our team wins. All right, I'm gonna do everything I can. And he puts Flubber on the bottom of their shoes because they're like the most unathletic nerd. Like they all look like nerds. Like the school is just nerds, and there's no other way to say it. Like they just look like them. And then the other school, of course, is like 6'7" muscly basketball players. They look like one school looks like real men. Like what you picture is like, oh, a man. Oh, that's a man. And then nerds.
Comic-Con.
They look like children.
Yeah.
They literally look like children.
Yeah.
And then so, puts Flubber in. She wins. She wins the bet because the nerds win. The nerds win. And but at the end, because he thinks that after that they're going to get back together, and she kind of shoots him down, right? And so he goes back to his house, sad. He has the sad Robin Williams face. Goes in, and then he's talking to Weibo, and he says that he just doesn't really understand humans. He wish he would. He wish he could understand them. He also wishes he could understand women, and just how passions and emotions work. Then he kind of goes on to say that he wishes that he had a little bit more time figuring out, um, instead of figuring out how things work, of why they work, right? In just life. And um, it's a very emotional scene because he opens up and he's just
Yep.
like, this is all I have now. I just have Weibo, who's a robot,
Yep.
and then Flubber, who's this synthetic being, who's so he doesn't have any real person connections.
Nope.
And that the only thing that was really driving him crazy and making him forget things was love, right? So, um, fantastic scene. Of course, Robin Williams just he could act his
Yes.
ass
Yep.
off.
Yep.
He can be funny, he can be sad, he could do everything. And then he also talked about which I think you might touch on this a little bit, just like what triggers euphoria and elation. I forgot what it's called. Phenylethylamine.
Yeah. I didn't even know that one. So, but he was saying it's in his
Uh,
limbic system. So your limbic system, yeah, that's what triggers all the stuff. Yeah.
there you go. They got the scientists
Yeah,
for Disney. They got science.
science.
Um, what do you think about just the fact of this character kind of living in this sort of hell now where he's lost all connection to the outside world, and now he's just putting himself where he's only going to be focused on his work now. Can people can human beings live just being connected to that inside world, to themselves, or do they need an outside connection?
Very rare. Can you just, be trapped in your own internal mechanisms?
Mm.
Usually 99% of folks, 99.9% of folks need some type of human connection, right? Some human interaction. And if it's not, it doesn't have to be much for some folks. A lot of folks, especially if you're neurodivergent, doesn't always have to be a lot. But there's usually some type of connection. We're social creatures, social animals. But he has been trapped so much in his brain, which happens to a lot of folks that I work with, trapped in so much into their own world that they're not the best friends. They're a great person, but they forget about their friends, or they won't answer the phone, or they won't call people back. Or it's way worse than when Spencer told me today, I got like 15 reels from you at once and you went full autism. Like, because I don't like answering shit, and then I'll just rip it out. Some folks won't even rip it out. They'll just let it die. And then they'll be like, well, why can't I make friends? As motherfucker, you don't ever text nobody back.
Right.
Well, why would people continuously ask you to hang out? You're so trapped in this, what we call maladaptive daydreaming, or this hyperphantasic thing, or in your special interest or research, then no one could conversate with you. And if they do, it's probably not reciprocal. Reciprocal meaning that there's a back and forth. Picture like a ping pong ball, volleyball ball, back and forth, back and forth. Or some folks on the spectrum will just do that monologue, and then that's it. So it comes off a little narcissistic, comes off a little selfish. And that's what he talks about later, but we'll get to. Could he be ADHD, Spence? Possibly. Definitely autistic coded. Definitely ADHD coded. The professor, or the bad guy, he says, well, you're not good at doing life skills. You're book smart, but you're stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what we talk about called executive functioning issues.
Mm-hmm.
So like me, I've been knocking out a lot of work. Yeah, this is my nap time, y'all. I'm sorry. Like, I'm in a horrible sleep cycle right now. I'm glad I'm pushing through right now. I'm pushing through. That way I can actually go to sleep at like midnight instead of like fucking 4 a.m. And his executive functioning is so bad that he don't remember to, bathe, shower, clean up his house, cook food, go talk, hang out with his soon-to-be wife. I mean, yeah, the robot's setting him up. Also, imagine being her. You don't show up to the wedding, that means you don't love me. If you love me, you would remember. And so it's messing up which is fair. Oh yeah, fuck yeah. I would have told him, girl, after the first time, fuck out of here.
Yeah.
You forgot your wedding?
Yeah.
Even if he is autistic with ADHD, bro. Nah, I don't know, man. You don't show up to the wedding. That's a tough one.
Yeah. Especially doing it like 3 times.
Bro.
Like 3 times per.
Yeah. She's a good woman.
Yeah.
So yeah. Most folks are social creatures. Can folks survive like this? Yes. Very rare. Even if they tell you, I don't need nobody. Oh, okay. Wait till you ask depressive shit, and then you be in office. You be in office. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's interesting as we pivot to like maybe the next thing is it's just so hard to understand humans. And that's everyone. I don't care if you're neurodivergent or not. It's just hard to understand what do they want? What do they need? What are they doing? The world is so confusing today. I mean, today's July 21st. The world is chaos at times. My world is fine. Spencer's world is fine, but it's kind of chaos. You got genocide happening in other countries. You got the Olympics are getting ready to start. You got all these Russia, Ukraine still going at it. You got the former President Trump has attempted assassination. The other current president, Joe Biden, just stepped down today. I mean, what the fuck's going on? With the weather, the hurricanes, the tornadoes are ripping things apart. Spencer lost power because of 60-mile-an-hour winds. Like, it's crazy. There's internet companies crashing, Microsoft not working for days. Like,
fuck Microsoft.
Yeah. The bad thing is like my Microsoft like Exchange email Outlook still works, so I still had to go to work.
Oh damn.
Yeah. Fuckers.
If only you had a flight, you're like, I can't go. I'm stuck.
So the world's pretty crazy, man. So it's confusing to figure out the world, and it's all organized chaos. For those of you that are neurodivergent, doesn't matter what that really means. To you, your brain is just different. So whether you're autistic or something else, understanding what small meanings mean in words, inflections in voice, tone, what are metaphors? What is like I had a boy come in the other day, Spence. He said, well, we get in arguments all the time. Yeah. He said, about what? And he said, well, she said she'd be there at 3:00. And then I text her at 5:00, like, where the hell you at? She said, well, I said, I try to be there. He said, no, try means I thought you were going to be there at 3. So I'm freaking out at 2:50 and at 3. You must be dead. You didn't show up. Must be dead.
Mm-hmm.
And so, right, some humans will know, like, hey, maybe they'll show, maybe they won't, maybe it's okay. Try, I know. I didn't really like the partner's response. I get where my boy was coming from. Like, valid. You should be worried. They said they were going to try to make it. That means they're most likely going to make it by 3:15.
Yeah.
Not just completely forget about you.
Yeah, like 2 hours, and then if they wouldn't have messaged them, then they probably wouldn't have said anything at all.
I know. Very disrespectful. And so understanding humans, it's not malicious intent, just shit just happens. It's just hard to understand humans.
Yeah.
And then to understand love, oh man, so many of my neurodivergent clients, what is love? How do I know I love them? Like, girl, I think you love him. I don't love him. Well, you like doing this and you feel good and safe around him and you talk to him more than anyone else, and he doesn't treat you like he doesn't make you baby him like you've done with other folks where you're like the mama bear. Like, this is a real relationship. Well, I don't know. And it makes me angry, but it's not like a bad angry. The arguments aren't bad.
Mm-hmm.
Lo and behold, towards the end, I really loved him. It's like, no shit. No. That's why you're miserable right now, is because you loved him, you idiot.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I'm going to give you a scenario, right?
Oh, let's do it.
Yeah.
Role play. Let me put on my panties.
Okay, I'm not going to be I'm giving you a scenario. I'm not playing the bitch in this. Okay.
I want the panties.
I want to wear them. So I have a friend, and they're in a new relationship, like one of their first times being in a relationship.
Awesome.
Like, yes, it's great. It's lovely and great person that they're with, right?
Oh, good.
Um, Problem is that he, it's not even like really a big problem, but he feels like maybe she doesn't love him as much because she's not very affectionate.
Mhm.
Now, a little bit of backstory. She's also a little bit of like germaphobe, stuff like OCD, stuff
Yep.
like that. But he kind of thinks that maybe
She's
since
not
she
into
can't
it.
show she can't show affection as much, or at least she's trying to lead up to it, but it's hard to actually, get to that point. And so he's feeling like, oh, she might not love me and yada. And then they
Valid.
also haven't said, I love you yet. And and for some of his friends, it feels like, hey, you know, they're saying I love you within like the first couple months or
Yep.
so, or like a first year. Why haven't we said it yet? So I want to get your thought process on that. And not really of like who's valid, but more of just like, how would you go about it if you were either one of them?
You know, that's a tough one. So I would tell your boy to chill. I
Mhm.
said, it's not that she doesn't love you after you explain to it, because I'd be like, bro, OCD's a sumbitch. And
Yeah.
germs and all that, right? That can get in the way of a lot of different things, man. And so be patient. But also you got to make your wants and needs known. Like, does you may have more data, but I don't. So I'd be like, does she even know that you feel bad? Have you
Mhm.
talked to her and been like, hey man, I wish we could do this more, hold hands, or maybe be
Mhm.
cuddle or physically intimate? And then a dialogue, what would make her feel more comfortable?
Mhm.
So not just stating what you want and need, but then where's the compromise? You need me to take a full shower and disinfect. You need me to spray down with some flubber. I'll get it bouncing now. No, let me stop.
Yeah.
Um, and so I would talk about wants and needs, boundaries. I talk about compromise. I would make sure that he's loving her in the way that she likes, but also then her like, bro, how do you show up, girl? If it's you can't do the physical things, are we doing the other things such as quality time? Are we doing the verbal affirmations? Maybe we're doing like dinners here and there. What are we doing? So both of them are valid in their things. The question is, where can we meet in the middle to where we both feel respected and loved? And it would be up to him to have the conversations with her, period.
Mhm.
And then hopefully she wouldn't get offended. So we would talk about how to say that to her
Mhm.
and how to work it in based on, hey, I love you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just man up and say, like, I think I really am falling for you, the person. But there's some other things that are getting in the way from it going further. And being prepared for her to freak out. If I'm working with someone that's autistic, I would prepare for her to freak out, her to not have any reaction, her to really affirm you and be like apologetic, and then that plus let's work in some compromises. So I would probably plan out like 3 to 4 different scenarios, and then we would strategize for each one. That's how I would approach it with my client, if they were possibly neurodivergent or if they were dealing with someone that was neurodivergent. At the end of the day, you got to remember one thing: neither person's bad.
Yeah.
So don't come in there heated, right? Cool your jets. You're talking to someone that you deeply love. They're just different.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what gender you are, man. That shit gets in the way, Spence. If people feel like someone's not showing up,
Yeah.
I mean, if people send a text these days and that shit don't get answered in like 20 minutes, people freak out.
Yeah.
They hate me, and that's a little paranoid. That's a little like insecure. But like, yeah, if we feel like we're distanced, something's there.
Mhm.
Your mind will start racing. And even if you're not hyperphantasic and like visualizing stuff, that's when you'd be like, oh man, they don't love me. I'm ugly. I'm different. Maybe, I'm not smart enough. Oh shit, she cheating on me, right? I mean, our minds go to places. And so your boy, if it was me or my other clients, they'd fucking be spiraling.
Mhm.
Because now instead of you doing your work and chilling and vibing and shit, you're thinking about this. Like, how am I going to make this work with baby girl? Because like, I love baby girl, but we're not on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
And so I would validate. I would do what I hate when I tell you all the white therapists be doing. Validate, strategize. Validate, strategize, and then the strategies need to be diverse because we don't know how they're going to react. So that's how I would go about it and attack it. Relationships are chaos, bro. That shit, I don't remember what movie it is, but it's literally insanity. You're so caught up in this shit, this sauce, this juice, that that's all you think about, and you can't wait to talk to them. You can't wait to see them, smile, smell them, right? Touch them. Maybe taste them. I don't know. Good, you taste like peaches.
Like, that's peaches. The fuck?
That's peaches.
I change fruit every month. What? What does that mean?
That's fruit of the month club.
Fruit of the month.
Fruit of the month lotion club.
Mango? Is that mango?
Mango? Damn. Where you get that pack of condoms? Costco? Goddamn, girl. You think what I'm supposed to do?
Those are good ones.
I ain't doing nothing with all that ass. Put the peaches away. And it just goes back. So let's look at me.
Yeah.
When I want to date, I date. When I don't want to date because I'm busy and doing shit, then it doesn't mean anything to me. Right. People don't understand me because I don't fit in that certain box.
Fair.
And it's weird for me to get attracted. Of course, I find a lot of people gorgeous. A lot of people sexually attracted. I'm like, God damn. Girl. But then my brain gets intrigued by certain things, and I'm like, and Spence knows when I'm like attracted.
Yeah, I've seen it.
You've seen it. And they're either like intelligent, but they can also like funny and can talk shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little masculine too. You know, I like the cute femme ones, but I like them a little bit more talking with the boys, you know.
I like it when they wear Jordan 1s.
I like getting slapped around. You know. But it's confusing. And so I'll talk to young students about, what does love mean to you? How do you know? And I start going through how I think I may know.
Yeah.
Like I said, they might start consuming your mind and time and all that, but it's just hard. Especially if you're neurodivergent and you have ADHD, anxiety, OCD, autism, right? Because now you got that alexithymia kicking in when you don't know how you feel unless it's big. Unless it's big terror or big happiness. Unless you're giddy about the Pokemon that you just bought or the new stuffed animal, or you're miserable because some motherfucker just colonized it.
They colonized Pokemon. No.
Spencer, a white man.
Typical.
Shout out to New Girl.
Shout out to Schmidt.
Shout out to Schmidt. Shout out to our favorite, like a favorite white man.
Favorite white.
I was gonna say what culture he was.
I know.
Yeah. There's this Kanye West role. He's like, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say
but
it.
You know.
And then he's like, Jewish. He was Jewish.
I'm not gonna say.
I'm not gonna say. He was Jew. I was like, what the fuck, the guy?
Hey, Kanye.
Cut. So yeah, humans are difficult.
Yes.
For everyone.
Yes.
Love is difficult for everyone.
Yeah.
This last scene that was heartbreaking, or not the last scene, but the last little bit is when she's like, it's just me and you now, girl. And the robot's getting sad because she was sabotaging some shit. Why? Because I'm pretty sure she loved him, right?
She did. Yes. Yeah. Loved him. Was just even made like a synthetic, like a projection of a woman. Yeah. A projection of a woman to like be like, hey, I'm kind of a woman here. Even though I'm just a light. I'm just a fucking light.
Good enough for me.
I can work with it.
I don't know where to go.
I just need you to look at me real intensely and we're good. I own the fucking world. Homelander. Season 2. Season 2, folks.
There you go.
Yeah.
So she loves him.
Yes.
And then she watches this thing in the very beginning of the show where she's watching this woman. He's like, sometimes you gotta, if you love something, you do have to let it go, even if they love someone else, or even if someone else, they want someone else.
Yes.
I know it's like super corny and cliche, but that shit is true, man. You can't like own someone. If they love someone else and they're going to be happy with they have to go. Yeah, they have to. You can't, because they're not going to be fully happy with you.
No, and you can definitely feel that shit, right? You
Mm.
can definitely feel when that other person, it's just not as there as it was
You're
before,
not as
right?
tight.
That connection. Yes. Yes. And so you really feel it, and then it's just like you're holding on to something that's just not even there anymore. And it's just like,
Yeah.
just let it go,
M-
move on.
My client
And I think a
says,
lot of
go
people
ahead.
can't do that. You know what I'm saying? They just, and I understand.
Letting
I
go's
get
hard.
it. I know. I understand. Moving on is a very tough thing
Being
to
alone is
do.
tough.
But the people say that. People say that it's like it's tough, but and then they just but and the problem with that is that then they move on to a relationship way too fast, and then it
Preach.
starts over again. And
Preach.
then so you're just repeating
The same
and
cycle.
repeating over and over again the same shit. Now that's insanity to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's real insanity. If you're repeating the same thing over and over again, but with a different person,
Yeah.
it's like you need to stop.
And
Maybe
just
you
sit.
and just sit and be by yourself. I
Just for a bit.
understand being alone is hard. It's a tough thing,
Mm-hmm.
but you can find things to do. You can find something in between that time to do. I don't care what it is. Go knit. Go play basketball. Go buy some shoes, make some Legos. I don't
Just
care.
be okay being
But
alone for a couple months to half a year.
yes.
Can you do it?
Yes, do it. Because guess what? You're not going to be happy in that next relationship because you haven't moved on from the other one. So why would you think that this next one's going to be good? You're still holding on to what made the other ones bad,
Correct.
and you're not learning from that past relationship. You're literally going like, okay, I'm going to take the same stuff I took from that last relationship and put it in this one. You can't do that. People are different. It's a different person, different relationship. And then all of a sudden, hey, oh, wow, this didn't work out. So why didn't that work? Because you're doing the same shit.
You haven't
You gotta
healed.
be by yourself
You
and
haven't you
heal.
haven't healed. Yeah, you haven't really figured out who you are and your identity.
Yeah.
And then you need someone.
Hmm.
Difference between listen now. There's a difference between needing someone and wanting someone.
Mm.
Right? I don't need nobody. Actually, they say people like me are the hardest to fall in relationships. I don't need you. Fuck you. Stank ass. Oh, humpback ass.
You know you love that hump.
I
Stop
love that good hump.
Camel
Camel hump.
Camel hump.
But a lot of people struggle to be alone, bro. And I push a lot of people to do that. And it ends up working out magnificent because then the next relationship, they want to be with them, not need.
Yeah.
And now they're able to speak up, have conversations, conflict, talk about their mental health with that person, right? They're not scared anymore. They're not scared. Because you know who you are, you know who they are, you come together.
Mm.
But you're not like assimilating. What was that Dr. Dre talked about us with this X-Men 97? You're not fawning over them.
Yeah.
You're not
fawning.
assimilating and giving up your identity to be with them because you suck and they're awesome. You two entities coming together. In my case, one robot, one man. In love forever.
I love you, robot.
Weebo, bring your ass.
Get your ass in the bedroom, Weebo.
Turn that light switch on, girl.
Weebo be fucked up.
Change your oil, girl. Change your oil.
Change that oil.
Take her ass to Bell Tire.
That girl gonna be charging for the next 5 days. Let me tell you what.
God.
Let me tell you what.
Yeah. Love and relationships are tough, man. And to be neurodivergent, to try and figure out what's going on, excruciating. I got a lot of folks right now that are going through breakups. They're like, man, I ain't trying to do this shit again. I'm like, yeah, don't. Like, they don't want to get another relationship. They're like, I'm cast out. I'm like, chill. And they're like, what do I do? I just think about him or her. And I'm like, it's going to be like that for a while. You were together for 5 years, 9 years.
Yeah.
You think you're just going to forget? They're in my dreams. Yeah.
It happens.
Well, I just broke down crying because we just broke up yesterday. Yeah. Motherfucker, you can't always be happy. What's your...
It happened 24 hours ago.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, that's normal. I didn't think it was normal. That's normal.
Yeah.
Bro, trying to get people to shut down their Instagrams or Snapchats or block them or mute them. It's fun. I'm like, shut it down. Because soon as you see that your partner with someone else going to destroy you again.
Why would you still follow him?
You got to unfollow them. And I don't care if you ended out on good terms. Seeing them happy with someone else, it'll fuck with you.
Yeah, no, fuck that.
No. Be happy.
Like,
I don't want to see it.
They can be happy.
Yep.
Be happy.
Be happy.
But at the same time, I don't need to see it.
I don't need to see you hugging boy, you know.
No.
And then
He's a lot bigger than me. I know
yeah,
it.
I don't need he good looking and shit. Like I mean, he ain't got no hairy knuckles like me. By the way, did you see how hairy fucking Robin Williams' knuckles were?
I was watching this with Dom. She's like, I had no idea he was that hairy.
He's hairy,
I was like,
bro.
yeah, he's a hairy guy.
He's a hairy guy. Yeah. He's got some hair, bro. Jesus. Let's pivot into this real quick. This they call him selfish. And we almost touched it. And I think we're talking about ADHD, right? We're talking about, he says it's love, and love is infectious and overwhelming and all consuming. But if you love baby girl, you should have showed up to the wedding.
True.
So I assume his autism, his OCD kicked in. He's trying to change the world. Flubber's going to change the world. Girl, your dusty ass going to be there tomorrow. I don't need you.
Okay, so the little backstory too is that his fiance, was also like a professor / like not dean, but she was like a really high
Smart as
professor
hell.
in the college, right? In that same college, so they all work together. And I think he thinks that like by saving that, then he's helping her, and that's how he's showing his love, right? Is by inventing
saving
this
the school
Flubber
and then getting
and
funding.
saving everything.
Oh, that makes
and
sense.
Then she doesn't have to worry about anything. He doesn't have to worry
And they
about it.
can
But I
just
think
teach.
it's mainly about her.
Yep.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's what they were going for in that. That's what it felt like to me.
That makes
right?
sense. And so, I don't want to forget this. One of the reasons when I know I love someone, platonic or romantic, is protection. If I start feeling protective of you, if someone looks at you funny and says something stupid, or you say something stupid to yourself, and not in a joke, but like nasty, I'm like, wait a minute now. I'll look at my clients like, wait a minute now. You know, something happens to you, Celine, right? Something stupid, right? Some big old white man says something weird to you. I'm like, wait a minute now. People, how do you know you're in love? I know when I love someone, not in love, but love someone, I'm like, okay. Y'all better not say shit around my boy, around my girl. So that could be like hypermasculine to some of you. That's just how I know. I'm a big boy. I'm terrifying. And when I start to love someone, if I feel like I can exude some power and I have a gift to do it, then that's when I'm like, okay, Baba Yaga time.
The boogeyman.
The chupacabra time. I'm about to eat you. About to suck it up.
Pull that egg roll out. Watch out now.
You know, MSG in this motherfucker everywhere. Great scene. I know a lot of folks deal with relationship issues. They're all confusing for us that are neurodivergent. And when they finally work, which is the next scene, and we're going to get out, we'll do it quick, the next scene. But when they finally meet someone that meets your weirdness, your neurodivergence, you know, they're bouncing off the walls with you. They're helping you kick other people's asses, right? The mental demons, the physical demons. When you're spraying each other down with green lube, I mean, let's go. Let's go. It's green.
Put it on me. Make me bounce.
Go put that antibacterial on me. Because
I know you dirty.
You know you dirty.
Oh my God.
It does look like that green antibacterial shit, though, the green one.
Yeah. Back in 1997.
This is that good shit. This is that radioactive shit. This is Hulk. I said Hulk Hogan. Like that racist.
I know.
This is I know. Everyone's like, the Hulk Hogan's awesome. My dad's like, you should have heard his speech. I'm like, he's a bona fide racist.
Yeah, there's some stuff that came out with like his energy drink or whatever he has coming out, and he had like influencers coming for like the store, and they were black women, and then as soon as he found out that they were black, that he fired them pretty much.
He was canceled before people ever got canceled, like 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Him and Dog the Bounty Hunter have been saying the N-word for so long now.
Horribly too.
So long.
Yeah, so long. Yeah. I'm over it.
Yeah.
I'm over it. All right, sorry. Yeah, but the last scene, and then let's just get out of here. Let's have some fun real quick.
yeah. So the last scene. So all right. So Weibo. Spoiler alert. Weibo dies. Gets fucking one of the henchmen hits her with a baseball bat. Fucking sad as shit. I'm gonna
Yeah.
be honest with you. Sad as shit. Robin Williams cries in the scene. I didn't want to be that depressed. I thought we were gonna be like more funny on this episode, so I didn't want to be too depressing.
He beat that bitch
And
ass.
one swing, that's all it took. Um,
Jesus.
I know. And then so they also steal Flubber from him.
Yep.
To try and get him to do whatever he like the bad guy wants. And so one of the stipulations that the bad guy said, he was like, for the next 2 years, if you want Flubber back or if you want the school to be saved, you have to give me your intellectual property for 2 years. Anything you make is mine for 2 years. I was like, damn, that's some sinister shit right
Yep.
there. Yeah. And then kind of moving along, then we find out that Wilson's also working for this bad guy who loves this. They're in the same school. They love it. And so then Professor Phillips is like doing this plan to where he's using all the Flubber shit to beat the shit out of all these guys. So he uses this hand cream that makes Flubber bounce off of them. He also uses it on his chin so that then if he tries to punch him, just bounces right off. Yeah, it's some fun.
Hilarious scene.
It is. And then of course Flubber gets eaten and it comes out the wrong end.
It comes out hot.
Yeah, obliteration, as I like to call it.
It's like when I put the hot Cheetos in my chili.
It was like when you put hot mustard on your sandwiches.
Ooh,
when we were
man,
in Philly.
that Chipotle mustard is a some bitch, bro. That shit was horrible.
Bro, you were like, as soon as you ate that, you're like, yeah,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
You're like, mommy,
Mama, no.
mama, no.
The white man.
I kept on hearing that from the bathroom. I was like, why is he screaming the white man?
Yeah, bro, that shit was terrible, man.
That was so bad.
So bad.
But, you know.
But yeah, this scene.
Yeah.
There's two reasons why I want to add this in. 3. 1 is hilarious shit. 2, it's awesome to have your partner that's same page. You're taking out crime. You're taking out assholes. You're setting boundaries. You're doing your thing. You got someone that's weird and funny and goofy and nerdy and ADHD, intellectual, stupid. I don't give a fuck what it is. You're on the same wavelength. But I thought it's funny because when Flubber gets excited when the light hits it, it gets really excitable.
Yeah.
And then
so it like freaks out when it sees light.
It freaks out. And so to me, that's like ADHD incarnate. You're sitting there and I'm
Is that what happens?
That's the same face I make with little Everly. Like, I'll hide. She goes, Nas, I just realized what she says when she gets me on the phone. She immediately goes, Dada? And it's not that she thinks that I'm Dada. She's like, she's literally saying, wanna talk to Dada. And she'll go, wanna talk, Dada? And then she'll go chase him, then give him the phone. I'm like, this is funny as shit.
She's gonna be a smart little girl.
Oh, she's so fucking smart, man. Yeah. So I'll make those faces with her, that excitable face, right? And that's what Flubber's doing in there. And so I want folks to think of like, to add on a funny note, like obviously the poop thing is funny, but on the funny note, when the Flubber, what excites you to that extent? Like someone brings it up and you're just like,
the famous autism.
Like, what would y'all's be? Like, what is your giddy up? Is it one of your nerdy fun fandoms? Is it food groups? Is it animals? Is it fucking alcohol? I mean, I don't fucking know.
I hope not.
Is it, we know people that love Disney movies. Is it something creative? Whatever it is. What gives you that, like, let's fucking go?
Yeah.
I got a couple of those.
Chickens.
Hey.
It's chickens.
Bro, I'm telling you, one of the things I live for, this people are gonna be like, this is depressing as shit. One of my favorite things since I've been alive is that feeling that you get right when you get home, and then you just set your backpack down, right? You lay in bed, and then you just feel your spine unlatch.
Oh yeah,
Bro, laying in bed when you get home from work or a road trip or just right home from work, I'm like, there's literally nothing better than this. It wears off pretty quickly, but for that like minute, you're just like, oh my God.
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
And
Yeah, when I get home from work or school, when I was getting home from school, I'd just be like, Ugh.
bro, you would sink into the bed, bro, or the couch, you would sink. You'd be stuck. And then as me and one of my clients were talking about, we were talking about her morning routine. I was like, step by step, let's go through the morning routine. She literally goes step by step. She's like, I look at my phone, I go pee, and then she's like, I get back into the bed. I'm like, pause. That feeling after you go pee and you get back into that cold but warmish bed, that's one of the best moments of my entire day. I hate it because you still got to get up and go to work for 9 hours.
Fair.
But for like that 5 minutes after you drop that bladder,
dropped it like it's hot.
dropped it like it's Flubber shooting out.
Oh my God.
That was one of my favorite moments in the day. Is that getting into bed after work. Dinner is probably one of my favorite moments in the day when you're like, oh, I'm about to. When you get home and you lay down in bed, then I go get my food, and then I put on Netflix and I sit down with that full plate of food. That shit is crack to a fat dude. Crack. Man, let me
just sitting in bed eating food, watching Netflix.
Just eating my Cheetos, bro.
Just leave me alone.
Smeagol
wants his chili.
Smeagol don't like chili no more.
Smeagol's asshole blew up.
Those of you that are hungry for chili, it's a magnificent thing. I highly recommend Kinder's chili seasoning. That shit is crack. Crack. Magnificent. Spence, you got any tapatio you putting on this?
No, I think we're good here. Yeah, we have some great pod. I don't know when this is coming out, but we have some great pods coming out with great guests.
Yeah.
Go check them out. Check out our past ones because they're fucking fantastic.
They're really good this
why
year.
Wouldn't you?
Season 2 has been magnificent.
Season 2.
Yeah.
And also go check out BetterHelp. Go to betterhelp.com/DSP if you want 20% off your first month of therapy.
There you go.
Go check it out. Also please go check out some of our merch, great stuff, and then also go check out our resources that we have on our link tree, all for free.
Yeah,
for free. So go check those out. We have a bunch of different things, diagnostics, a bunch of worksheets,
coloring books, everything.
Yeah, all of it. So go check it out for free. And with that, I'm Spencer. That's Nas. Different Spectrum Podcast.
All right, everyone. Much respect, much love, and remember, take care of yourselves.
Or don't.
That's completely up to you. Peace.
Bye.